All right, positive energy all the time. Hope everybody's doing great. Going to talk about Kodak Black. I want to start out by saying, say no to drugs. No drugs. Okay? Young people, if you're older and you have abuse, problems with abuse, go get help. But to the younger people that's watching me, no drugs. Okay? And that includes pharmaceutical drugs if you're using them recreationally, or if you're using them medically but you find yourself addicted, go get help. Another thing is drinking. No alcohol. Drinking should be moderate, and I would say extremely moderate. Okay? You should not be drinking every week. You shouldn't be drinking during the week. And if you're drinking on the weekend, it should be based on celebratory events. Like a friend has a birthday this Saturday. Next weekend, a friend has an anniversary or a wedding. Okay, you have a drink, you have a drink. A drink. Okay? It's all right to get drunk if you're not driving, and you shouldn't get drunk no more than once every 3 or 4 years. So, to the men out there, you know what I'm saying? Always be a player, never be a hater. And, players don't ever be outside of their body, you know? Now, the other exception is, every now and then with your queen brothers, you do what you do. Ladies, you should drink much, much less than I'm telling the men. Um, Alcohol and having babies and having breasts and just the way your body is made, ladies, you got to understand, men, our body are, look at it like this. As men, our bodies are closed. As women, your bodies are open. Always remember that. Right? Your breasts are open. That's why when your baby get pregnant, you can breastfeed. How do milk get out? Because your breasts have holes in them. Uh, your sexual organs are open. That's why you have to watch where you sit and all that, lady. So, be careful. Another note about drink is when you drink, don't drink any liquor that has any artificial coloring or artificial flavoring. Make sure it's pure liquor. Liquor is medicinal, but too much medicine becomes poison. So it's definitely good to drink. It's healthy, but sparingly. Sparingly, right? Once a year, 3 times a year. If you want to max it out, 7 times a year. Okay? And no narcotics. People are addicted to pharmaceuticals too, so not, okay? And then in the streets, To my young people, the sellers ain't righteous. And they'll sell you something that'll put you on, that'll mess you up. I had a friend in high school named Dio. He was hanging out with his cousin, did some stuff. It turned out to be some type of animal tranquilizer. And Dio ended up not coming back to school for over a year. And when I finally seen him, his face was swollen, and he was like this. You know what I'm saying? And it took months after I seen him to get that stuff out of his system. He was this close to not being here. We're going to talk about that more, but I wanted to say that right off the top. Okay? Right off the top. That includes cannabis. If you don't know your grower, you could end up getting fentanyl or that purple bud. It's not really purple. They spray color on it. So I'm like, no, to the young people, health is wealth and stay sober. To the brothers, to the men, geez, we don't, you know what I'm saying? On the streets, if you like drink a lot or use substances, you're lying. Yeah, you don't. I don't care what nobody told you. There's for street dudes, people, that hang out. There's two types of men when it comes to that. And so if we go and hang out, you know what I'm saying? If it's your birthday and you get a little drunk, cool. But we just hanging out and we notice you drunk, you're not going to be considered top tier. If you're using substances, you're definitely not top tier. And, on the street hustling or whatever, you're not going to make it with the upper echelon. You're going to be B level. You ain't going to be up there with the people like me. We ain't going to really deal with you like that. You can't be trusted. You lack self-control. All right, we're going to get back to that. So let's do what we always do. Rep your city. Rep your city. She-Rod's representing Pittsburgh. We got Cincinnati in the building. We got Texas in the building. We got Miami Beach in the building. We got Atlanta, Georgia in the building. We got Jersey. Everybody on Facebook, Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. And that's both of my Facebook accounts. Salute to everybody on both of those accounts. I'm representing Iraq, a.k.a. Chicago, Illinois, a.k.a. the Windy City, a.k.a. the city with big shoulders, and a.k.a. We got the beautiful Sharon in the building from Dallas. Ooh, looking cutie cute. We got Buffalo, New York in the building. We got Palm Beach in the building. We got the great city of New York. The king of cities. Even though I'm from Chicago, you got to keep it real. New York is... I can tell you that. New York is something else. Seriously, don't let nobody fool you. North Carolina's in the building. We got Oakland in the building. We got Chi-Town in the building. My brethren. We got County Florida in the building. We got Rep Your City, Rep Your City, Rep Your City. So, run those likes up. Run those likes up. My two daughters tag team me, double team me, hit me with elbows on the phone, said, Dad, tell people to hit the like button, the notification bell. What else they said? Hit the super chat, the CashApp, the Venmo, the PayPal. I told them, I've been doing this before all that. You know what I'm saying? And, the youngest one hit me with the Dad. Basically just do what they told me. Y'all got daughters. They hit me with I couldn't believe the quiet one. I couldn't believe the quiet one got in on it. See, the baby put her up to it. Yeah. I ain't even married no more, but I might as well be with them. So, the doggone, somebody told me that Kodak Black said he ain't mad about slavery, but the Africans shouldn't have participated in slavery and stuff like that, and asked me what I thought about it. And then that was yesterday, and it's just been bothering me. And so I'll talk to my subscribers because I only talk about things that I'm thinking about. I don't do gossip. And I've been thinking about this, and it's bothering me because who in the hell was listening to Kodak Black? Let's start there. Who in their right mind cares what Kodak Black has to say? I'm totally confused. Kodak Black? Are you serious? So when I went and looked it up, it was all over the internet. People was talking about Kodak Black, Kodak Black, Kodak Black, Kodak Black. G-Rock, Kodak Black. In the real world of men is a loser. No real G's respect no Kodak Black, man. Kodak Black is a buster out here. And when you struggling, you out here looking like you're on all type of substances and all crazy, you're a buster. But when you really successful making a whole lot of money, oh, you the biggest buster in the world. Everybody look at you like, what wasted opportunity. Because Buddy can rap. Buddy can rap. I ain't gonna lie. He had songs that I played all day. But the thing is, I can't check for him because I don't like his persona. So, like, if a song come my way while I'm flicking around on my phone or on YouTube on my laptop, I'll click on it. If it's a good song, I'll listen to it. But I'm not going to never go look for his music. I would never go look for his music because he a buster. Out here in the world. He's a buster. He's all weird. I seen him last year, I think it was. I don't know if it was Rolling Loud or Coachella. Maybe Rolling Loud. He came out on the stage. He was all out of his mind. He didn't say none of the lyrics. He was just up there looking crazy. Totally cheated them people out their money. One time I seen him do a show and digging his nose and wiping on a lady's head. I said, nah. I think that was last year. I think that was 2024. He just came out on stage like he didn't know where he was at. And he was just up there just wandering. And I'm thinking, bro, you got all the opportunity in the world to be just filthy rich and really be like a superstar because he could rap. And he was a bozo. Every time I see you got a bottle of syrup, bro, you just recently got out of prison because you were goofy. What the hell was you doing in prison? Bro, with that much talent and you in prison? What? What? I don't like dude at all. I don't like him. I don't like him none. Zero. See, when some of y'all need to have some babies, you brothers out there, you need to have some children and raise them. It's another story. But see, when you got children, you don't want your children listening to certain artists. So if I had children and still was raising children, and I noticed my son or my daughter listening to Kodak Black a lot, when they go to school, I'm gonna do a little FBI work in that room. I'm gonna search that room, and I'm gonna be searching and prying for substances, because like people that abuse substances like people that abuse substances. So I began to think that my child might have some addiction. Because why is you watching this addict? Now, some people say he put on the act, and that when you talk to him in real life, you're not like that. That's even worse. But why is you out here misleading the youth, acting like a junkie? And these type of people be super fraudulent because he'll keep his children away from what he encouraging other children to do. He ain't gonna his baby's gonna be at some great school where they pay a whole lot of money, gonna have a chauffeur take him, gonna have security, but got your baby out there watching him buy some wrong stuff for somebody and OD and pass away. He ain't gonna expose his children to it. That's for sure. He gonna be just like phony ass Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? B words ain't this and B words that and BBB didn't have a daughter. Now she the princess. Chris Brown too. These bees ain't loyal. These bees ain't loyal. I have a daughter. What about your little bee? The little bee. See now, his daughter ain't no bee. She's a queen. She's a princess. But your mama, your wife, your woman, your girlfriend, your daughters is a bee that ain't loyal. See, these rappers be phony. They always gonna put something out there for the community, but they ain't gonna put it out there for their family. You know what I'm saying? That's not cool. And like I said, in the streets, once you ain't always in your right mind, You know, you bottom tier. You ain't top tier. You know, you only get respected, you know, for being sharp, on being on your square all the time in the hood. I don't know what nobody told you. I tell you right now, I swear to God, if you get around, if you go in the community and you get around 5 to 8 dudes that's always hanging out, they're like a little crew, they're like a gang. They might be a gang, they might be in a gang, but that, because all the gang don't know each other. So they might be in a gang. It's a fact. And it might be 5 or 8 of them. And you talking to them and they out there, they ain't inebriated, they ain't all out there man and nothing, but they dibble and dabble, right? And let's say one of them named Steve-O. And you talking, and you ask Steve-O, you like, Steve-O, you want a drink? The rest of them be like, nah, man, Steve-O don't drink, man. Steve-O don't do nothing. And they hold Steve-O at such a high regard. Think I'm lying, watch, keep your eyes open. Get around a bunch of dudes that dibble and dabble and stuff. And ask one that don't and watch the other ones show you who the leader of the pack is. They're going to be like, no, man, Pharaoh, Steve-O, and they're going to respect him. They respect him to the highest. Nah, man, Big Steve-O don't do nothing, Pharaoh. Nah, he don't mess around. They going to say. I swear to God, they're going to talk, you're going to know who run things. They're like, nah, Big Steve-O ain't no goofies like us, Pharaoh. Basically, they're going to be like, nah, Big Steve-O is serious. We be playing around. We goofies. Nah, Big Steve-O, nah, he don't do nothing, they going to say. And you're going to know that they don't play with dude. And you're going to see his stature. You're going to see his leadership qualities. And you're going to be able to tell that he pop up and pop off with them. They don't even bring no low-level stuff to him. That's why they telling you no, because he done already told them, boy, get that stuff out of my face. I don't mess with he done already told them. So they gonna tell you what they learned from him. Boy, I don't mess with that. Y'all some goofies. Little more, all you do is drink. Do up all over yourself at the party. Man, get your ass out here. He gonna want them to get back on their square on however they getting their money or whatever other time they on. Get y'all ass on y'all square. They can't even really do all that around him like that. I'm telling you, they can't do. They gotta wait till he leave. And if they do, he gonna be like, all right, man, I'm up. And he gonna be up. If they start get some drinks and some syrup and all this stuff, he gonna leave. They already know he can ready leave. You'll be like, y'all go ahead. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And if you get to meet their family, guess which one gonna have the nicest family? Gonna have the best queen? Gonna have the best children? Him. The rest of them, their whole family gonna be in disarray. And if you live in the area long enough, guess which one? The first one you ain't gonna see no more. Him. He gonna buy a house, get married. He gonna be gone. You see him pop up. When I lived in Oak Block, we had, I forgot Shorty's name. Man, he was gone. Shorty showed up about 10 months later, car, children, hopped out. They was like, whoa. He's like, man. And he was back out. You hardly ever seen him over there no more. He just pop in. Maybe was visiting a relative or his mama or somebody that still live over there. But you could see his stature. You could see how he was dressed. You could see his car. You could see his children. You could see his whole thing to see he had scaled up on them. I was like, man, it's good. I ain't seen you. Me like, yeah, man. Ja Rule, I had to get out of here, one. Like, Ja Rule, I had to get out of here, bro. I work, he said. He said, I work. I got a job. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. You're doing right. You're doing right. So when everybody was talking about Kodak Black said he ain't mad about slavery, I just couldn't believe everybody was upset. A lot of people, I'm like, why is you listening to Kodak Black? The narrative should have been, man, ain't nobody listening to no Kodak Black. Well, we're not listening to Kodak Black, blue, green, Kodak red. You know what I'm saying? We ain't even gonna use their cameras, dude. So why? You know what I'm saying? We ain't messing with no, you know what I mean? We ain't messing with no damn Kodak Black. Like, come on, man. That weirdo. Like I said, he could rap. He could rap. One day he had one tune. What's the tune where he walking out in the yard and he walked back past like down the driveway in Chicago? Man, I played that song about 100 times. It's fire. But he ain't got the personality and stuff to keep fans. Fans gonna listen. They just gonna like a song. They ain't gonna never like him. Now they'll scream at you when you come out at Coachella or roll it out, but they don't really mess with you. You're not really their favorite artist. He's not nobody's favorite artist, but some Haitians. Some Haitians, he's their favorite artist because he like a role model for them. But he letting them down though. You know, don't nobody from Haiti want one of their best artists to be a weirdo. You know, why? You know what I'm saying? I know if I was from Haiti, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, why our artist got to be a weirdo? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't like him. I'd be like, man, why Zoe making us look bad? You know what I'm saying? That's how I would be. And then especially if I was a hardworking Haitian family, you know, with like teenage boys and stuff that want to listen to dude, I'd be tripping. I'd be like, no, no, we didn't come to this country for that. You know what I'm saying? He's no, no. You know, you trying to get your children to go to engineering school, be doctors and nurses. You don't want them listening to dude. Dude is a loser, okay? And like a lot of people like me, we think this movie with all these actors, actresses, musicians that are dealing with alcoholism and substance abuse. I've seen it way back with Jimi Hendrix. Now, people said that they held Jimi Hendrix's head back and he really passed away from a vomit, but he still was like that because he was abusing stuff. He was still always inebriated, always off substance. It was a bad look. He couldn't be the great guitar player he wanted to be because he was always high. Had a short career. Now, at that time, it was like Janis Joplin was a bunch of them. They were dropping like flies. And it's been like that. Look how many. Look how many rappers substance abuse took out. Took them out. Think about it. Substance, look at DMX. Bam. Oh, Dirty Bastard. Bam. I could go down the line with substance abuse ruined some of the most talented people out here. At one time, Snoop and Don Juan and them had to go save Snoop. I remember when Snoop got real skinny. Y'all remember? And then next thing you know, it was a Bishop Juan had to go and clean him up. What you think Bishop Juan was doing? That's why he's Bishop Juan, because he's the minister for the streets. Big Lurch, yep. Put them in the chat. All of the great artists and actors and famous people we lost from alcoholism and abuse. Put them in the chat so when people be looking at the chat, especially young people, it'll remind them. Put them in the chat. What happened to Martin? What happened to Martin Lawrence, where he went crazy? I'm just saying, never came back. He's still not right. It's still something wrong with him. Charlie Parker. Look at Martin. Pimp C. Juice WRLD. Yep. Juice WRLD didn't even have a chance, man. Did anybody even get to see how talented dude was? Mac Miller. Yep. I forgot about him. Yep. Talent gone. In some cases, they had the opportunity to bring their family out of poverty, but boom, passed away early. DJ Screw. Gangsta Boo. Yep, I forgot about Gangsta Boo. Yep, Gangsta Boo. Yep, Lil Peep. I remember that too. It's sad, man. Messy Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye went in there out his mind, hit his mother. Fredo. Rest in peace to the guys, Fredo. Marvin Gaye went in there, all out his mind, hit his mother and his father, shot him. But it was because Marvin was out his mind. Miles Davis. I went to school with Miles Davis' nephew. Miles Davis' another son, Vince Wilburn. What up, Vince, if you're out there? And while we was in high school, Miles Davis went and put his trumpet up on the mantle and never touched it no more, and wouldn't open up the door and let nobody in the house. Yeah, wouldn't let nobody in the house for years. And finally got himself somewhat together, and I seen his last concert downtown Chicago, him with Frankie Beverly and some other people. John Coltrane. Sun Ra was heard over that. Shock G. That was sad. Yeah, he went in there and hit his mama. Y'all remember Marvin Gaye kept a skull cap on in the summertime? Marvin Gaye on stage under all them hot lights with a skull cap on. I knew he was crazy then. Talking about what's going on. That's what we want to ask you, boy. That's a good question, Marvin. Why you got a skull cap on under them hot-ass studio lights in the summertime with a suit on? Had lost his mind. Yeah. Man, I went to see Stevie Wonder after Bob Marley passed, and Stevie was supposed to tour with Bob Marley, but Bob Marley passed away, so Stevie had to take over the tour, and he put Gil Scott-Heron on. So Gil Scott-Heron performed first. So when the break came, I told who I went with, I'm going to go to the restroom right quick so I can see Stevie. So I go in the restroom, I use the thing, I'm washing my hands. Somebody come out the stall, it's Gil Scott. Now, have been a fan of Gil Scott since a kid. That's why I say fan, because as a grown man, I ain't been no fan. But I was a kid, so you would say I was a fan. And he was really teaching me a lot of militant stuff. Man, Gil Scott-Heron came out the stall. What's up, young brother? Real skinny. Hey, man. That's one of the biggest personal letdowns in my life. Gil Scott came out the stall. He said, he was real skinny. He was all, you could tell what he was in the stall doing. I'm a young revolutionary, right? The one that built this Pharaoh. So I'm looking at that dude like, you gonna shut up talking to me? Boy, I snatched his rank off his jacket. I mean, mentally. Boy, you ain't no general no more. Matter of fact, we're going to say you went AWOL. You was no longer in this revolutionary. Huey P. Newton got on that stuff, had a bunch of European girls with him. Everybody ran and left and joined the Black Liberation Army and went to prison. That's how Sada and all them got in trouble because they had to create another radical group. And the people that created the other radical group was going too far, and they robbing Brinks trucks and all of that, and got everybody pinched. But that was because of Huey, which if they wouldn't have unalived Fred Hampton, Huey wasn't going to be the leader no more anyway, because Chicago had the biggest Panther organization. And so Fred was going to be the national leader because he had the biggest army and he had the biggest backing because he had the Blackstones, the GDs, the Viceroys, and he had the black gangster disciples at that time. So he had the biggest army because he had told all the gang leaders to get their gangs and get in line. I can't find a picture of the May 21 for nothing. The FBI probably found that picture and hid it. The May 21, where Fred Hampton and them put together the 21 leaders in Chicago. The top ranking and a lot of different stuff. Sly Stone, my mother and father didn't go to no more concerts, outdoor concerts, because they went to Soldier Field to see Sly Stone. And I think they said Sly Stone, and they might have said Marvin Gaye. But I ain't going to say that, but I know for sure Sly Stone was getting high in a helicopter flying over, watching the crowd, waiting for him in a riot, like pushing and shoving, starting a riot. My parents said they could have got unalived in there. All these people in Soldier Field waiting for Sly Stone. He getting high, flying over in a helicopter, looking down high. Facts. Ruined Sly and the Family Stone. Ruined it. Have fun in the summertime. Boy, we don't sit your ass down. A hot mess in the winter time. We should have been singing. Sit your goofy ass down. We seen this time and time again. And now young Kodak Black, who I would say with the young rappers, I would say Kodak Black is definitely in the top 10. Probably the top 5. Shorty can rap. And Shorty can make some great songs. So people can rap. Yeah, I would put Kodak in the top 5. Young rappers out. Yeah. Shorty ain't no joke. Shorty, Kodak could rap. But only when he went to rehab and clean out. When he go to rehab and clean out and he hit that mic, I mean, he's a great songwriter. Like, it's one thing to be able to rap, but it's another thing to be a great songwriter and can rap the songs. Kodak is fire. but he ain't nobody you ain't gonna mess with him because he's not gonna be consistent because that addiction is too much. He got out of prison, Trump pardoned him, he came right back out on the same stupid stuff. So it's like everybody talking about Kodak Black said about slavery and all that, and I'm just tripping. I'm like, who the hell's listening to Kodak Black? Why is there, they should have took that advantage of Kodak Black saying that and do like me and tell the children to stay off them drugs and stop drinking that alcohol. That's what they should be doing when they talking about Kodak Black. They should not be talking about nothing he said politically. Take advantage of that and tell these children, don't you be like that fool. Because if Kodak Black don't change his ways, we already know this is going to go. And then I was talking to somebody talking about he ain't like that when you meet him. Well, let's say he's pretending. That's even worse. Let's say he really got himself together and all that's an act. Why would you come out there in front of our children and young people and act like that if you ain't like that? That's even more evil. That's even worse. If he ain't like that and it's an act and he going out in front of other people's young people, that's even worse. Now I could get in a little of the, I'll get into a little, we'll take it somewhere, all right? I'll get into a little cosmic knowledge with that. See, here we go. When you start talking about food and substances, you're talking about a higher level of the dark side. Because there's things that if you put in your body can begin to take over your soul and your mind. And so there's things that you could put in these substances, right? That when people take it, they end up possessed. Seriously. So I'm going to give you a wild scenario that I ain't going to say is true. But let's say I was some type of sorcerer and I had access to a very evil dragon. And I was able to take the shedding from this dragon and grade this evil dragon and grade it up into powder and put it in stuff that people would take. And from this powder, part of the mentality and the soul and the attitude and the actions of this dragon would begin to affect you. Because I got these living scale dust from this living scale. I got the DNA, dragon DNA in your body, or witch DNA, or warlock DNA, or some type of ghoul or gremlin DNA in your body. Right? Now think about that. Or I was able to put people in your sandwiches. Think about that. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in. Just think about that. And let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to take, let's say I got access to Lucifer, and I would be able to take some of the blood and dry it from the actual Lucifer and put it in substances that we sell you. And I'll be able to work witchcraft on you. Right? And took some stuff from the devil and gave it to you. And then play with you and call it a devil. And sell it to you straight up. I just take the E out and sell it to you. And call it a devil. And you don't even know. It's just hypothetically speaking, of course. Hypothetically. I'm not saying this is what this company is doing, of course. I wouldn't do that. But if you put an E in there, it does say a devil. I'm just saying. I don't know if that's no coincidence. I don't know. Even a little red pill is weird. Even the bright blue that's coming off the red pill, while all the other lines is regular lines, but the lines that are going into the pill seem to be emanating something, some type of power off of them. And the blue, it looked like monster claws, like long claws coming out the pill, where it's got the notches at each square. So it resembles like bones, like fingers from a creature. You don't see that light blue? That don't look like reptile. That don't look like it come from a reptile. That the blue got notches on it. They got the lines going up, making notches on the blue that's coming out the pill. I'm just saying. You see that? I'm trying to tell you. I took some stuff when I got out of high school, and I'm looking at this dude. I'm off this substance, and I'm looking at this new coworker, and I've got kind of like mind reader, and my mind telling me he want to unalive me, and I wanted to unalive him. I was 18. I never forget it. But my mind is so elevated, so high, that the higher part of my mind looked at the lower part and said, "You tripping." And I caught myself. But I'm looking at this dude, and I really wanted to unalive him. Think about it. They call the stuff, they got a thing they call angel dust. But uh, Lucifer is a fallen angel. So what kind of angel? Feel me? I ain't going to talk about that too long. I just wanted to throw that out there because I be having people that be wanting to hear that type of stuff. That I'm going to be talking about next year on my other channel. But for those that want to go down that road, and you want to pick up on that type of knowledge, I'm going to show you a book that you need to order if you want to go down. This is one of the books that when I was a shorty, and I was like, maybe 17, 18, 19, somewhere in there, around this same area. This is one of the books that put me up on that type of knowledge. You really should have this in your library. For sure. You should get this. If you read Subliminal Seduction, it's gonna help you a lot. You understand? That's how I learned how to look at stuff like this from this book right here. This book right here. A teacher made us read it in high school. Or it might have been the 8th grade. Oh, we got the sister April in the chat. Let me post her let me post her GoFundMe. Y'all go help April out on her GoFundMe. It's all explanatory on what she's going through. Go read it and check it out. You know what I'm saying? Maj reposted. Right? I should have put the link in the description. Let me do that right quick. Let me post the link in the description. So yeah, at the top of the description, you will see the link that way. Okay. I should have been doing this more. I'm sorry, Angel. I'm glad you came in the chat because I would have forgot. Yeah, y'all support the sister Angel. She almost there. Have her car back on the road and back at work. And shout out to everybody that supported too, that donated. That was really nice of y'all. Get her back to work. But yeah, Kodak Black, you know, I can't pay no attention to what Kodak Black is saying. Oh, no problem, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? And any of y'all out here, if you get in a really, really bad situation, just don't sit there and go homeless or whatever. Like reach out to everybody. Your mommy, your mom, your dad, all your relatives, all your so-called friends, people that know you on social media, like people like me that if you've been following me a long time, let me know. We can let the chat know. But I'm gonna vet you because unfortunately, we scared to help people because you got you know people, especially men, that will just go and take advantage of that and try to give people to just give them money. So it's sad, you know what I'm saying? It makes us the people really need it can't get no help because of the scammers. All of a sudden you got a problem too from nowhere, and you want some. We're not doing that. But I'm gonna check you out anyway. We're gonna have to talk on the phone. So I vetted this sister, so I know for sure. She I know for sure that she ain't scamming. And plus, you could tell because they're gonna have a limit. They're gonna have something they actually need. Somebody like, man, I need 750. You know what I'm saying? Most likely they ain't scamming. How you come up with 750? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, my car broke down, man. I gotta get 350, man, to get it fixed. Then okay, that sounds legitimate. I'ma still vet them though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know it's legit. I checked it out. I checked out your job and everything. Yeah, you gotta, yeah. I don't give nobody nothing unless it's like this sister, and I could vet them and know. You know what I'm saying? I gotta vet them, which ain't that hard to do. You can find out. Yeah, but back to the Kodak Black thing. I know if I was a Haitian American working man with a family, working hard, to take care of my family to try to acclimate and become an American citizen, I would totally not like Kodak Black making me look bad as a Haitian. Seriously. If Trump want to throw the Haitians out, this dude is not going to convince nobody not to do it because America would be fine without him. He's not adding nothing decent to the country, to me. He need to be in Haiti. To me. He brings no value. What value he bring? Some weirdo that's always promoting substances. I just looked it up, and he had a bottle. Talking about he popped the top off with his finger. It's fake, bro. Are you serious? He foul, and I wouldn't listen to him about nothing political. I'm not listening to nobody that's suffering from substance abuse saying nothing historical, political, or nothing of any type of intelligence. I can't believe he made any type of media. For real. Get him out of here. Go get him clean. If you ain't pushing to get him clean, when he do OD or whatever, if it happens, I'm just going to watch all the phony people. If that man pass away from abuse, watch. Watch all the rest in peace, Kodak Black. Oh, it was so horrible. But nobody ain't trying to make no lives or nobody talk about him cleaning up his act. Let something happen to him. They act like he was Christ. Oh, man. Oh. Oh. That's what they going to do. Like he was the greatest person ever. But ain't no post about him cleaning up his act. I bet you I'm the only one. That's why I just named it Kodak Black. Meaning, who listening to dude? That's what this means. That's what this means. Kodak Black. What Kodak Black said to the parents, make sure that your children, when you see them watching certain people, check their rooms when they go to school. You have to search your children's rooms. At around the 8th grade, for sure as a freshman. But at a 8th grade, do it in a way where they can't tell. You gotta search your children's rooms. The children will have 2 lives. They'll have the life when they come in the house, and they'll have another dark life that you won't know until it's too late. Trust me what I'm telling you. Search your children's rooms. Because when I was a freshman, I had all type of stuff in my room. Seriously. I had a whole lot of money. I had a whole lot of illegal stuff in my room. And I was still playing the little kid to my parents. But I was already outside selling substances. Selling stuff already. Early. I started hustling soon the summer I got out of 6th grade. My parents had no idea. They still thought I was little Michael. No, I'm Stu Gambler. They don't even know Stu Gambler. They just know I come back in the house, I be Michael. I gotta say I'm Stu Gambler. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Search your children's room. Because everybody not strong like me. And then sometimes when they try substances, they end up addicted. And they might be addicted 36 months before you even find out. Something bad happened before you find out. How long you been on this stuff? Search your children's room. Look through your daughter's purse. And make sure you do it in a way they can't tell. Put everything back exactly like it was. And in the morning when they get up and go to school, every now and then, search their rooms thoroughly. And watch them close when they come in the house. Watch them. When they've been out with their friends or went somewhere, when they get back home and they first walk in the door, watch them. If you can, slow them down. Do not let them come in the house and go straight to their room. Stop them. Hey, so how was it? And if they trying to get away quick, something ain't right. It's something they don't want you to see. They don't want you to see them. I'm telling you. They're going to try to hurry up and give out. Hey, mom. Hey, dad. Poop. So how was it? And if they're uncomfortable with stopping and talking to you, they own substances. They most likely they own something. They didn't took something. They've been out doing stuff. They've been out either drinking or taking illegal substances. and they trying to get in there before you investigate them, before you can see their eyes and stuff like that. I'm telling you. And some parents never see it for years. And look what happened to the actor and his wife. Well, that boy was on that stuff all that time and finally went crazy. And he went crazy because he was on, guarantee you, because they tried to shut him down and didn't give him money. I can't say that's what it was, but I'm willing to bet they cut his money off and he couldn't go get what he wanted to get. Watch your children starting in the for sure the 8th grade, but it won't be too bad in the 7th, 8th grade. But you can still check. But it's gonna be crazy freshman year. It's gonna be crazy freshman year is when we turn up. We turn up freshman year. 7th, 8th grade, we do little stuff, but we don't be too bad. Freshman year, we go crazy. We really get into it freshman year. And search and watch your children. And when your children is watching people like this and they like him, they might like his behavior. They might be a part of the same clan, the junkie clan. He's a junkie, they trying to be junkies, and they can relate. You understand? I'm telling you. Like, pay attention to who they like musically. And whoever they like musically, if that person acts crazy and that person got open substance abuse, your child might be in trouble. Because it ain't no whole lot of people going to like this dude. People that's not really big on substance abuse, they're not going to really like him like that. They're going to like other artists. They're not going to like no junkie. They're going to be like, he's cool, but he's high all the time. Ugh. He needs to get it together. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that know all his lyrics and listen to everything he's saying in the songs and watching them on YouTube, why? And they're gonna do it. They doing exactly what he doing. You feel me? They're gonna do exactly what he doing. It's for the parents out here, okay? I want to make sure that's clear, parents. It's the main point of this live. Watch your young people who they look up to. And if they look up to somebody that has obvious addictions and abuse, substance abuse problems, it's a high possibility your children are abusing substances. High. Because what? Birds of a feather do what? Flock together.